XLM has more eyes on it than ever before in time today, and it is because of how big XLM is becoming, but also mainly because of the price and how it has been pumping. But I do think that a lot of people are starting to realize just how big Stellar actually is. We have been talking about this project for years now, and it's finally incredible to see that XLM is starting to be taken seriously. And in this video, I really want to stress just how valuable I do believe that XLM is going to be, and why I do think that everyone should pay attention to just how big Stellar has become. So welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So yes, by the title of the video, I do think that XLM is going to shock a lot of people overnight. Not because of the fact that XLM is just going to blow up in value, but because of how big Stellar has become. The price action definitely is there. Listen, in the last 7 days, XLM is up 120%. In the last month, XLM is up 460%. This is a small move, though, on the grand scheme of things, because I do believe that XLM is going to go to a new all-time high, especially even with XRP. A lot of these projects are destined for incredible growth, especially as we do start to see the space taken seriously, more so utility being focused on. Now, as we look at Stellar and we look at even XLM, right? Look at the search terms for Stellar XLM and even XLM. Guys, they're at new highs essentially on this chart. And we're even taking into accountability the 2021, bull run, okay? And even on XLM itself, 2021 bull run taken into account, just look at the chart. I mean, retail is focused on XLM. People are starting to do research on XLM. They're starting to look into XLM. Now, the price is definitely a big thing for this. It's a huge, path to retail really kind of looking into the tech, finding out a lot more about XLM. But let's talk about just how big XLM actually will be. Let's start off with this, which is from Danielle Dixon, the CEO and Executive Director at Stellar Development Foundation. We have new Stellar ecosystem friends, 3 things you should know about Stellar.org. We are obsessed with utility. We are obsessed with access, and we are obsessed with impact. Now, on top of all of these 3 things, Stellar has been doing all of these incredibly for years now. Number 1, let's start off with the growth of the on and off ramps, the tokenized assets, and the countries reached by Stellar. 550 million plus tokenized assets, 475,000 crypto ramps. Guys, that is insane. 180 plus countries, one network. Stellar. When we look at the anchor directory, okay, look at the exposure that this network has globally. And for those that don't know what the anchors are, they do break it down over here. Anchors connect the Stellar network to traditional banking rails so that currencies around the world can interoperate on a single seamless platform. Guys, the entire world is essentially tapped in on Stellar. And you can look at the on and off ramps that are offered in a lot of these areas. Essentially, global coverage of Stellar is there. And you can look at all of the integrations down here, the areas reached by, these integrations. This is why those on and off ramps that Stellar does provide are so crucial. And the list just goes on, right? So, taken into account all of the, exposure that Stellar does have when it comes to on and off ramps, what about the tech side? What about utility? Well, the thing about utility and the thing about the tech is that majority of the retail sector does not care. They're not going to look at it. In fact, they're not even going to realize they're using XLM or Stellar. And I think that this quote is perfect. This goes back to DevCon 2024, and we have most of the time, people who really benefit from blockchain don't even realize they're using it. They don't care about moving between chains or speculation. They just care about having access to basic financial services like checking and savings accounts. And yes, this is exactly how Stellar is changing the game. This is how a lot of these utility-based projects work. Again, people don't realize that, no, you're not going to be using the tech. You're not going to realize you're using the tech. It's going to be a back-end process. It's going to be something where you essentially see your money moving at the speed of light. Okay? You're going to see, everything move at the speed of light at a fraction of a penny. And that's when you realize everything is working much more efficient. They must have pushed an update or something, right? You're not going to care about the tech. You're not going to look into the tech. You're just going to see the benefits. Now, on top of this, let's go over here. This is Jed McCaleb, okay? This is the founder of the Stellar Development Foundation. And this is an incredible breakdown of just how, big Stellar could be. A lot of new people looking at Stellar, so I thought I'd write down some quick thoughts about why Stellar is worth your time. In my honest opinion, Stellar is the most underrated and least understood crypto project, and I completely agree. A lot of recent attention, but people are still sleeping on this network. Stellar already does way more transactions per day than all but 2 networks. 10 times the number of transactions per day than Ethereum. Many real people are already using it for actual real-world transactions. So many things are just simpler and well thought out. Native stablecoin and token issuing, built-in DEX, on-chain governance, smart contract system that is safer, no foot guns like re-entry, and also more performant, built from the ground up for concurrency, more sustainable state archival, better foundation for actually good UX, passkey support, native multi-sig, etc. It has been one of the most performant chains for years. Its fees have always been essentially zero because the protocol is efficient and fast. This is more qualitative, but the engineering is world-class. And not so sexy, but look at the developer docs. Absolutely the best in the industry, makes spinning up on Stellar as a developer a delight. I believe the best and most impactful use of crypto is as digital money, which means it must be a good and useful means of payment. This is what Stellar has been focused on and what it is built for, and it is a very, very good system for this. People and businesses around the world are realizing this, and I think Stellar has a very real chance of becoming a big part of the world's financial infrastructure. What a massive quote from Jed McCaleb. But the dogs are cuter on some other coins. It's true. And this is something that you should be paying attention to because Stellar has massive connections globally. The exposure here is significant. The tech is very significant. And more recently, Danielle Dixon was at Meridian, and she said that Meridian wasn't just talk, it was our ecosystem locking in to build the future of global finance. 1 month later, and the work continues. Check this out.
I want you guys to celebrate yourselves because we're doing the hard work every single day. And when I say we, I just kind of throw myself in there because I feel like one of you, not because I'm doing the hard work that you guys are. So I started this Meridian by talking about the future transformations, but beyond where we are today. So sort of reaching those unmet needs that we know exist, but then building on them with this amazing tech stack with clean, user-centric design and real focus on solving those problems. And remembering that those individuals and businesses that are not served by the traditional financial infrastructure and the banking rails, kind of the global majority, if you think about it. There's more people that aren't served by traditional financial business rails and by banks than there are. And that's an important thing to remember. So the global majority, I think sometimes and I mentioned this in my opening, that sometimes we get confused into thinking that they don't have robust financial lives. And that's just wrong, because they do. But they're constantly looking for solutions that are going to remove pain points for them. And sometimes, as I said when we started this Meridian, they're going to do that by sometimes being innovators themselves, because they want to achieve their goal of financial freedom, access to savings, access to lending, access to capital, investments, and payments. And so they're going to look for these financial tools where they can find them, or sometimes they're going to build them. And we shouldn't try to impose a system on them that hasn't historically worked for them for whatever reason that is. We should listen to them. We should listen to the needs that they have. And some of you are already doing this. And it's pretty remarkable. But I think it's just a good reminder that when we listen, we actually can be super creative about what we can use this technology to solve. So now I want us to focus on the transformation beyond Meridian. So what is your part in this transformation journey? What is the vision for what you can do? So I'm going to make you guys stand up again. Stand up. And the first time I told you to turn to the right, and somehow that didn't work out, and I get it now. I get it now. But don't do it yet. But I'm going to have you turn to the left this time, because maybe it'll work. I know it won't. But I want you to listen to the person next to you and listen to what they tell you about whether they achieved their goals and their Meridian outcome. Because if every single one of us in this room took action, the impact that we can make is massive. It's global, and it's definitive. So thank you all for coming. Let's end it by you guys talking. So grateful for all of you being here. Hope to see you tonight and tomorrow.
And, this is exactly what makes Stellar so, successful so far. It's because they are listening to the pain points of their end goal, clientele, which is, mainly the retail sector. As we think about that, right? Even over here, we have the Stellar disbursement platform. Lets anyone build payment systems that just work. For an example, Beans app. It lets money move like email. They proved it by turning a coffee shop into a Stellar USDC merchant in minutes. This was 23 seconds long, this clip, after just, setting this up. Check it out. And this is in seconds that they are paying for a coffee. And this is all available through Stellar. It's actually kind of crazy that people don't think that crypto has real world utility. It does. It's just that they're clouded by all of these, other networks that are pushing meme coins and the gambling, use case of the meme coin casinos and stuff. Listen, Stellar is offering something so significant here, and you can see that through almost everything that they have on the platform. Here you also have another one. This is with, Bank. 350 million people in Africa don't have access to bank accounts, and only 20% of families have formal bank accounts. Bank provides a real-world solution to this problem by turning 8 billion active prepaid SIM cards globally into virtual debit cards with Stellar. Once users load prepaid airtime credits onto Bank wallets, those credits are now on-ramped onto the Stellar network and digitized into tokens named MIN, which can be turned into USDC or USD coin. I think this is an opportunity for solutions like ours in combination with Stellar to make a big difference and help the next 2 billion humans join the digital financial world. And yeah, listen, I do think that mass adoption, Stellar is driving mass adoption of this tech through these solutions. And there's many of them on Stellar already. For an example, here's Decaf, right? This is a real, project that is impacting the world already. A global bank on chain, instantly transfer money between 184 plus countries. This is all on Stellar. And these are legitimate use cases that are ultimately driving mass adoption of the tech, changing lives around the world, changing the way money is moved around the world, banking the unbanked. This is why I go back to that original post by Danielle Dixon. They're obsessed with utility. They're providing it. They're obsessed with access. They're providing it. And they're obsessed with impacts. And they are making a global impact through the tech. So as we think about this, we are witnessing a major change. And in my opinion, I do believe that when people finally realize how significant XLM is and how significant the Stellar network is, guys, it is going to shock a lot of people overnight because they didn't do the research. They didn't understand it. And this is also why I do think that XLM is going to be very, very valuable. in the short term, the midterm, and even the long term. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys could definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, Nick, thanks for watching. Peace out.